that's taking place right now across America. A lot of times we don't see a lot of this on the news. This isn't something they want to put up on the front page. But he is in an area that is scheduled by 2012, to be essentially, no habitation zone. And he's a prospector. He goes around the country, and it's something he does kind of on a part-time deal. But he'll go different places and look for different types of gemstones and gold. And he's a very, very interesting guy. It's Finding Gold. Actually, it's on YouTube. It's FLA Gold, and he's got a lot of very insightful stuff up on some of his videos. And I thought this one was rather thought-provoking. Let's go further.
As soon as it's approved, Senate signs it, fully 1/20th of your nation's minerals and metals will have been effectively seized by the federal government. It was about 1999 that I began to notice a pattern with the Clinton administration's Lands Legacy Initiative, and that was that the Western oil and gas fields were being systematically removed from the Bureau of Land Management and replaced as national parks where oil and gas drilling could not occur. At first I thought that was simply a payoff to his political backers who were the Indochina.
Okay, so when we take land from the Bureau of Land Management, if you can actually stake claims, if it's what they call BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, you can actually stake a claim or go and actually, like if you were a prospector, for instance, you could go there and actually stake claims and things of this nature and actually go work that land. But once they turn it over to like a national monument or a national park system, you can't do that anymore. The land's effectively seized. So the minerals and the things that are in that land are bound up in that land, and we can't get to them. What it is it's just one more way in the future that we might be able to make a living. They're taking that away from us, okay? For a lot of people, particularly in California, they banned what they call dredging in the rivers, and I don't mean dredging with huge dredges. These are very small, and they actually help the river system. This year, they just banned that, and it put a ton of prospectors that were making an honest living totally out of work, and they're just doing this systematically where they're taking these things away. Also, they're gonna ban any oil drilling or that in these areas as well. Now, I understand, like I said, they're suppressing the free energy, but what they're trying to do is create such a situation where we're dependent on fossil fuels, and then we've got to go over to the Arab nations and get their oil, and therefore it's this big cause and effect crisis that they're creating. And it's just one more thing where we're dependent on a foreign nation, just like we are China right now. Now, I'm going to be stopping this a little bit along the way because he's throwing up things on this video, and it starts out by lands that have been seized by the federal government. Nevada, 54 million plus acres, or 54% of Nevada, has been seized by the federal government through these types of things. This is land that was mostly Bureau of Land Management that went over to some type of national monument or national park type system. Let's go further.
And Saudi Arabian oil and gas consortiums. But
Idaho, 32 million plus acres, or 60% of Idaho. 60% of a state? Arizona, 30 million plus acres, or 41.5% of Arizona. This is insanity.
Now with the Obama administration, we see the systematic tying up of our mineral and metal lands.
California, 44 million plus acres, or 44.7% of California, which is what, like the third largest state? Colorado, almost 24 million acres, or 36% of Colorado.
Notably, some of the gem fields in Oregon and now the Klamath River system.
Montana, 25 million acres or 27.5% of the state. Washington, over 10 million acres or 27%, roughly 27% of the state.
As national monuments pulled out of the Bureau of Land Management and thereby bypassing the 1872 mining law and
Wyoming, 30 million plus acres or 48% of the state.
Confiscating our mineral and metal wealth as well. I hope Americans wake up, especially the young, because by the time their mineral and metal resources are taken from them, their enslavement will begin.
So anyway, I thought that was kind of pertinent to what we're talking about here today. He pretty much summed it up pretty succinctly, and it's very much related to what we're looking at here.